The Elimination Chamber is this coming Saturday morning at 5 a.m. on the East Coast, 2 a.m. on the West Coast, 6 p.m. local time in Australia, as we'll have the men's Elimination Chamber match to determine Seth Rollins' opponent for WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia. Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, Bobby Lashley, Kevin Owens, Logan Paul, and L.A. Knight will compete in Perth. This is a loaded, and I mean loaded, men's elimination chamber match. One of the most loaded ones I can remember in recent years. Obviously, the front runner here is Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre is one of the best things about WWE. His heel turn has been done fantastic. His character work, his storytelling has been A1 top notch. And even with all the rumors and controversy possibly surrounding his contract status with the WWE, this man is putting on the best work of his career. He has a ready made program ready with CM Punk when he returns. And I think Drew McIntyre will eventually re sign with the WWE. He did pin Cody Rhodes. Yes, it was by hook or by crook this past Monday on Raw, but you can clearly see the company wants to show him that they have big things in store for him if he decides to stay. And I do think WrestleMania 40 is his crowning moment to have that moment in front of fans of winning his world championship that was stripped due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Randy Orton. What are we doing with Randy Orton at WrestleMania? A match with Solo Sikoa doesn't really excite me. Cody needs backup, right? He has Seth Rollins potentially. Why maybe enlist one of his best friends, Randy Orton, right? Bobby Lashley, I'm not sure why he's in this match. He is apparently selling an arm injury. I'm guessing at WrestleMania it's going to be the pride of him and the Street Profits versus the Final Testament of Karrion Kross and AOP. I guess they'll blow off that feud in some sort of six-man tag match. If you haven't seen SmackDown, the spoilers, which are out, as I'm going to spoil it for you this coming Friday, AOP will defeat the Street Profits in a tag team match. LA Knight. What are we doing with LA Knight at WrestleMania? There was rumors of LA Knight getting his United States Championship opportunity against Logan Paul, but Kevin Owens and Logan Paul are both in this match also. And these stories all intertwine because Kevin Owens and Logan Paul are going to seemingly be on a collision course for a rematch. Will it be a ladder match, a street fight, a steel cage, some sort of stipulation? Now, they could do that match before WrestleMania, and then they could use other ways to get LA Knight as the number one contender. They could start to tease it here in the chamber. They could have LA Knight pin Logan Paul. They could have Kevin Owens pin Logan Paul to invoke his rematch and right to it for United States Championship match. Now, they could do Kevin Owens and Logan Paul at Mania. Then that would leave LA Knight versus who? AJ Styles. AJ Styles is more of the darker lone wolf TNA version. LA Knight and AJ Styles seems like a decent WrestleMania match, but what are we doing with Randy Orton and what are we doing with LA Knight if indeed Kevin Owens and Logan Paul is a WrestleMania match? I see Bobby Lashley. Really, it's going to be interesting to see who gets eliminated first, but I'm actually probably going to say Bobby Lashley. Then I could see, I guess, I could see Kevin Owens eliminating Logan Paul and LA Knight eliminating Kevin Owens. Then I guess you're left with Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton as the last two. You know the history those two men have had. I think this is Drew McIntyre's match to win. Yes, it is predictable. Yes, he's the only Monday Night Raw superstar, oddly enough. But originally, this was CM Punk's chamber to win to become the number one contender to take on Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. Now, my problem is if you don't give it to Drew, I really don't want to see Orton and Seth Rollins for the world title. The only other option, in my opinion, that's acceptable here, because I could put Orton with Cody in his corner, and I would do LA Knight and Seth Rollins. Raw is going to need a babyface champion that the fans can get behind, and LA Knight has been grinding and one of the breakout stars of the last year. He deserves his moment. Could it be where he gets the world title at Mania and Kevin Owens and Logan Paul continue their feud? I don't know. But I know it's predictable. I know it's a little simple. Drew McIntyre is doing the best work of his career. Drew McIntyre deserves his moment. Drew McIntyre, while he hasn't signed with WWE as far as we know they don't usually put the championships on guys who haven't signed long-term deals, but I can see a situation where Drew beats a battered Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, and on night one at the end, possibly having Damian Priest cash in, which leads to Drew winning the championship, getting his moment, but it's snatched away immediately by a cashing Senior Money in the Bank, Damian Priest, and he becomes your world champion. And that's how we end night one, especially if Judgment Day, when I get into my tag team preview, I'll talk about that, loses those tag titles to the Awesome Truth of R-Truth and The Miz. But sound off in the comments, guys. How are you feeling about this men's elimination chamber match? Where are we going with WrestleMania with these guys? Are we going to do a Kevin Owens Logan Paul rematch? Where does that leave LA Knight? Where does that leave Randy Orton? Do we do the Logan Paul Kevin Owens rematch beforehand? And we still get Logan Paul and LA Knight for the US title at Mania? But where does that leave Kevin Owens? Do we do Randy Orton and Kevin Owens at Mania? They've never clashed on a pay-per-view premium live event stage. That's a Mania caliber match if you build a story and build legit heat with it. I don't know. And I know I'm a little nasally right now, but I'm under the weather, but I'm coming to you to bring you that content to keep you guys engaged. But I want to hear what you guys think. Who do you have winning this men's elimination chamber match? It is stacked. I think this could be probably in the middle of the match. This could be, if they're going to have Rhea main event against Nia, you could have the women's chamber match open the show, the men's chamber match as possibly your co-main event. But make sure you guys join us this Saturday morning, 5 a.m. Eastern Time, 2 a.m. Pacific Time, 4 a.m. Central Time, as we will be live streaming the WWE Elimination Chamber. If you want to tiger bomb that like button, backdrop that bell. Sound off in the comment section. How are you feeling? Who is your winner? Are you going with Drew McIntyre? Are you going with Randy Orton, LA Knight? A shot with Kevin Owens, Logan Paul, or even Bobby Lashley? I don't know. We'll see. But I can see Lashley getting screwed possibly with interference from Karrion Kross, building more heat for their eventual clash, either one-on-one or 6-man at Mania. Sound off in the comments. It's yours. Give me a prediction. Who wins? Who's the last two men standing? I'm on Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton are the last two. Drew McIntyre getting the win and moving on to take Seth Rollins at Mania 40. If he does win the title, he has already made program with CM Punk and he returns. Or Damian Priest, like I mentioned, could cash in and there could be a built-in program right there that we've seen teased as well. Thank you guys for watching. I'll be here with more previews. We'll be live this Saturday morning for Elimination Chamber. It's the Flex On Podcast. Only place giving you that wrestling content how you want it, when you need it. I'll see you back here on the channel for more previews for Elimination Chamber.